Well, good morning. I'm testing my blood this morning. I had a long conversation last night, very late, with a friend of mine that swears up and down we're going to die. He said, I'd be lucky to live 6 months. Him too. Apparently diabetics don't make it very good. 1 out of 10 dies or something, I don't know. He wasn't scared about the rioting so much as he was the non-wearing a mask. 139. See here? That's pretty good for me. Out in public, demonstrating without masks, close contact, not following the rules of a pandemic. Well, I can understand the fear, but I'm not going to live in fear. I decided that ain't me. I tried to show a person some paintings yesterday about things in paintings, symbolisms, other photos or other pictures in a painting. And let's see. There's always, like I said, a picture paints 1,000 words. That's what it says. That's right, I believe. My friends also said I get everything mixed up. That's probably true. I look back in the past. Hell, I remember when bread was 12 cents, 10 cents. You can't buy bread for 10 cents now. I still remember. I have to thank the modern times. Let's see. I think a gallon of milk was 50 cents, something like that, 35 cents, something like that. Hell, I can't remember that much. Wasn't much, but I remember, and we was discussing slavery in America, and he couldn't understand when I was telling him about Canada had slavery and the United States had slavery. He said, "Oh, I don't believe Canada ever had." I said, "Yeah, it did." But anyway, most of the slaves were taken to South America. We only got, at the early stages, probably 5 to 10% maximum. But we didn't have much of a turnover. In other words, our slave population didn't die off. They multiplied, and due to our management or whatever, we didn't have such an abusive as South America. They was always buying slave, I guess, from the West Indies or wherever. Well, no, from the Barbary Coast. I think that's what it was. I said, that's where slavery. But I don't know why America took the biggest rap. I guess because we didn't integrate them as much as South America did. But South America, most of them died in South America from abuse and working in the sugar fields and whatever. And a lot of them died in America too. Don't get me wrong. Slaves is wrong, but slavery's been around since Noah's grandson. I believe he was a slave. Ham's boy was considered a slave. But we've had slaves throughout history. The Egyptians had slaves. At one time, the Americas and England was not going to enslave the black people. They were going to enslave the Irish, because over in the Arab countries, they already had a slave line of capturing black slaves or buying them off of their relatives, one or the other. And so they started that up instead of enslaving the Irish. Now, they did have some of the Irish as indentured servants. I mean, they had a 10-year strip, or 20-year strip, or 30-year strip, of indenturement, that they had to be basically was a damn slave. Some of them had 30 and 40 years indenturement. Well, now 40 years was a lifetime. Back in the days, everybody died about 45 years old. So he might have just got freed just long enough to die. So who the hell knows? The slavery's been around for a long time. It's one of the cruel practices of human nature. Very cruel. I don't think there's no need for any type of prejudice nowadays. They've been white slaves, black slaves, Chinese slaves, Oriental slaves, Spanish slaves, American Indian slaves. They've been slaves of all races. I think prejudice is more than slavery. Now, hopefully that you listen to this part of it. Prejudice is a cancer. It eats at them people until you like the Jews, which my wife was a Jew. You have to make them a lesser human to be abusive to any human being. And that's what they did to the Jews. They consider them as less human. And I've heard some of the racial slang and whatever. And that's what they do. They take a human being and try to not make it a human, or I'm better than you. Well, that's wrong. Wrong on top of wrong on top of wrong. We're all human. We're all on this planet, and we've got to learn to get along. And you cannot, and should not, harass people by their religion, their skin color, or anything else. You know, I just don't understand people. Yes, there is a fear of the coronavirus coming back because of the rioting and getting out there in big numbers. But I can see why they're out there. I'll be honest with you, if they hadn't got out there in big numbers, now looting is wrong in this, that, and the other. That's just telling you you're a thief. And that'll help your cause. But getting out there in big numbers, and I ain't even going to say about throwing rocks. Because how they throw tear gas and this, that, and the other. Well, I didn't tear gas you. Well, hell yes, you did. But looting is wrong. Burning buildings is wrong. You're hurting individuals that had probably nothing to do with prejudice. You know what I'm saying? But now, for is getting out there in numbers, I can say it again. Getting out there in numbers does help your cause. It helps any cause. It brings it to the forefront. But something needs to be done. I believe they train these policemen to be as cruel, no matter what color they are, and that's part of their training, to put their knee on somebody's neck, or abuse them in any way. Now I'm going to tell you a story. I was headed to the drugstore about 3 days ago. I had run out of my metformin. And it was time for me to go get some. So I headed over to a little town about 20 miles from here. And it was early morning, the sun was bright, coming up from the east, and I was traveling east. And the sun was pouring down on my face. And so I followed the white line to the right, and so down about 45 mile an hour, and headed towards the drugstore. Well, there was a police officer in a pickup behind me. I guess where he came from. Hell, I don't even know where he came from. And then there was one car on behind him, and it was very hilly. So there was really no place to pass. I mean, he probably could have, but he found a place along the way, but the sun was bothering him as much as it was me. So about, I don't know, about halfway there, about 12 miles into my trip, he pulled my ass over. And the first thing he said, well, you were swerving over across, swerving in the line. I said, I don't know about that, sir. I said, let me turn this dash cam on and let's see if I swerve or not. Well, he started another tune then. Because I have a dash cam using my friend that I told you about, said I needed to get one, so I got one. And I also turned on my cell phone so we could hear the conversation, And so he said, oh, no, it was not more than that. He said, you was just backing up traffic. I said, when you pulled me over, there's only one car that passed. I said, that's traffic. Okay, yeah, I agree. One car is traffic. What he was mad about, I was going 45 mile an hour, and he didn't like traveling so damn slow. And then he said, well, where are you headed? I didn't have to answer him. I said, I could have said it just down the road. I said, I'm headed to the drugstore. I've been out of state, and I need to refill my medicine. He said, what kind of medicine? Well, I talked to him about the HIPAA laws. I said, well, really, I don't need to answer that, but I'll answer it. I said, I need to get my diabetic medicine. He said, you need me to call you an ambulance? I said, did I ask for an ambulance? He was just being hateful, and I'm thinking, really? I've not done a damn thing wrong but go 45 mile an hour because the sun was bothering me. And he said, well, you're traveling too slow. And I said, well, I read that damn book, and the book told me is I had to drive what I thought was safe. And due to the conditions of the sun, that's what I told him, and the conditions of the road going up and down them damn hills and stuff, I said, I thought 45, he said between 45 and 48, so let's say 45. I said, I felt 45 was pretty damn safe. So he couldn't win. And when I had it taped on the dash that I was driving a straight line, I wasn't weaving, he said something, yeah, you was over to the shoulder of the road. I said, well, due to the sun, if I'd have got over to the left, I said, some seaman would have come by and took my mirrors off. I said, I was pulled over to the right and following the white line because I could see it, and I didn't weave or anything else. Well, he probably just had me back my license and said, go on and be careful. He followed me all the way to the damn drugstore. Another 8, 10 miles. But all he wanted to do is harass me. Because I was driving too slow and he couldn't get around. But he still delayed himself from wherever the hell he was going. But stuff like that, there's no sense in. If I've been breaking the law, other than going slow, and I think the speed limit was 65. 65. So I was going below the speed limit quite a bit. The sun was, like I said, it was a blaring orange, big orange ball. You couldn't really see the highway that well. And then what shocked him is I had a dash cam. He seen it when he walked up there. And he could see the screen that it was still showing down the road. You know what I'm saying? It was still showing down the road. So he pretty well, when I told him, well, I can play this back and we'll see if I was swerving, I said, yeah, I did pull over to the right, but I was not on the shoulder of the road. I said that, in fact, I was not even over that yellow white line because it had some little cut parts and it make noise. But he changed his tune and then just said I was just going too slow. And then when he seen how old I was on my driving license, he wanted to call me a damn ambulance. I said, no, I don't need a damn ambulance. I need to get to the drugstore, take my damn pill, and just sit there for a few minutes and figure out my day. Because the drive, you have to go through the drive-thru. You can't go through walk inside. So there was another car ahead of me, so I was pulled behind it and waiting. I'd already called prior to that, and I had my prescription ready. so I didn't have to wait. But the point about it is, I live in the middle of nowhere. Now, why in the hell would I be wanting to get harassed by the police for something that, hey, anybody, not even my age, would have pulled over, and the only thing I should have done was turned on my caution lights, blinking, because I was going below the speed limit. But the point about it is, everybody should have watched because the sun was just at the right angle on the road that morning that nobody could see, not even him. And like I said, that's what we have to put up with nowadays. So it doesn't matter the color of your skin or your age or anything else. My advice is get you a damn dash cam or your cell phone and have that damn thing turned on. Because the only reason that we are going to take these policemen to court for murder or accessory to murder is because we had American citizens with their cell phones or video cameras, and we videoed it and can prove that he killed him. I mean, I don't know what the hell's wrong with the police force. I know they have to deal with butt heads every day, but when a person's not being a butt head, just trying to be safe, think about it. If you're a black person or an ethnic group, Oriental, Hispanic, elderly, and you're pulled over by the police, you're already upset because you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And if it's been in your history to be harassed by them, I can hold my own. Like I said, we'll play the dash cam back. I'll play it for the judge or play it for you. And I wasn't swerving. I was going 45, between 45 and 48 on 6, but it was not, even on the freeway, it says minimum speed 45. So I was making that, and I brought that to his point. I said, if I was even on the freeway going 45, of course nowadays you get run over going 45 on the freeway, but I said, under the law, I was legal. You know what I'm saying? And this on the secondary road, which is a 2-lane road, 45 that morning felt safe to me. And that's what the book says. He just pissed off because he got trapped behind me for about 5, 6, 7 miles. And he'd get run up on me and then he'd back off. Run up on me and back up. I watched him. Hell, I wasn't scared of that. But then after a while, he turned on his lights because I think he was trying to get around. Then he felt, it wasn't safe enough, so he'd back off. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go and think about it. I think that the coronavirus is going to take a big hit and start climbing like hell. But I think hopefully we'll be all right for the next 2 or 3 years since they find a cure. If you're out riding and driving in your car, turn on your damn dash cam. Buy you one. Buy some inside cameras. Buy a bunch of shit. Video every damn thing. That way, you can prove you didn't break no damn laws. Take care and have a great day.